Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Untold Stories, a weekly D&D campaign set in the world of Elboria. We're back with these wonderful humans to roll some dice, attempt some questionable accents, and hopefully tell a decent story. So just to remind everyone that the Reimagined Classes are being used by people in the group, and if you want to pick them up, you can pick them up on the DM's Guild, which I think still has a sale on at the point this video goes out, so you can get them really cheap. And as always, all of our NPC art is provided by Aderyn Angelini's Art Venturing Guild. The character art is produced by @LiveDoodles, and Chibi Battlemap art, if used, is made by WeTheDreamingDesigns. So definitely check them out if you can, and continue to use support real artists. With that out the way, let's get on with telling our story. Last time out, you had a conversation about what Amhrain had told you. Ximori revealed a new skill that they had acquired seemingly in the last couple of days with their newfound telepathy. And more pressingly, the castigators arrived once again, and yet somehow didn't notice you, despite their various tricks and abilities to hunt magic. Moving swiftly in the opposite direction that they headed, you continued your journey to Ximori, dealing with various things along the road, from cloying mud that Aderyn drove you into, slowing your travel, to a secret stash that you dug up and acquired, some magical goods, which I'm sure will go well in your current run from the law, and also a fun experience with a giant seagull that attacked your caravan on the road and ruined my voice in the process. At the end of that third day, you came across a loggers camp. You're about half a day's ride from Ximori at this point. Your friendly demeanour and the upbeat mood of the loggers, you were invited into camp with them, and in fact got to party with them as well, sharing in their drink and food. Lesley successfully flirted with most of them, including bedding a lovely chap by the name of Brandy, where they went away to a tent elsewhere to engage in activities.
I think it was hugging.
It was officially hugging. That is the line given to the children.
And to TikTok.
During the night, however, Togrim, watching the fire, seemingly in attempting to reignite it, found themselves standing outside the main tent where most of the loggers were sleeping in their drunken stupor, having set fire to it, and the roaring blaze leaping up the sides as the earworm song rang loudly in their ears, seemingly causing them to take differing actions, which is where we will pick up as the fires begin leaping from the central cavern on central tent to neighbouring smaller tents and lighting up the roof. Togrim, what do you want to do?
Togrim's just going to go, fire! And just sprint into the tent to... I'm assuming he's just stood outside the main tent, so sprint into the tent and just start slapping people as first person he sees, pushing them awake, screaming at the top of his lungs, fire, fire, constantly.
Cool, you run
trying to get everyone awake. You
run into the tent, and it is already hot in here. This fire seems to have taken up far quicker than any normal fire would. Can all of you roll perception at disadvantage because you are asleep?
Or are we?
If you're not asleep, you're distracted. Ximori?
I was just going to say because I can't sleep.
Still, same thing.
This is when you're in your trance.
Yeah.
Disadvantage.
Any better, more interesting music than this? Let's switch to this.
Lesley hears fire and thinks it's a compliment.
What do we have?
7.
7?
15.
15.
8.
8.
7.
7.
19.
19. Aderyn.
Oh, so, hold on. Sorry, no, 9 with disadvantage.
Oh, right.
Sorry, I rolled 2 and then forgot the other one.
Aderyn, you are the only one that hears the shouts of fire, and you're aware that there is orange light outside of your tent.
I would like to wake up everyone else around me.
That you begin trying to wake up everyone else. Togrim, you are trying to shove these people awake, and in their drunken stupor, it is hard work. As you're aware that this place is starting to catch, and the fire is now inside the tent, and smoke is starting to build. At that point, you also see a bit of fire from a beam up ahead seems to leap down, and then almost dance up on fiery legs, and you swear you can see in the flamework like a chittering smile as a flame sprite appears in the middle of this space. And another one also jumps down into the space and just cocks their head at you. And I need everyone at this point to roll initiative.
Yep, that makes sense.
25 to 20s.
21.
21 for Balrick, who is still asleep. 20 to 15.
18.
18 for Lesley, who is
Still
being
asleep?
cuddled.
Spooned.
Spoon. Are you the little or big spoon?
Oh, the big spoon.
Fair enough. Then it is 15 to 10.
14.
10.
Who's got the higher dex out of Aderyn and Tauri?
I've got 12.
I've got 13.
So Tauri, Aderyn, Togrim, and Ximori.
3.
I rolled a natural 1.
At the start of
Go
initiative,
deep into your trance.
Balrick is asleep, Lesley is asleep. It is the sprites that go before Togrim. One of them runs over to a beer keg and begins trying to just set that on fire as the other one runs up towards you. Does a 23 hits you, doesn't it?
Yeah. Very easily.
You take 6 points of fire damage, and your clothing catches fire.
Shit.
That ends the sprites' turns. Tauri is asleep. Aderyn, you are awake. Who do you try to wake up first?
Who's closest to me?
Anyone that's not Lesley.
Okay, I'll wake Bob.
Balrick, you are woken up. That takes your action. Is there a bonus action you would like to do, Aderyn, or move anywhere?
I'll just kind of yell, wake the others, and I'll move outside.
Cool. You burst outside the tent and you catch a glimpse of what's happened as you are seeing these small bundles of fire, tiny critters jumping from flames and almost sprinting across the open earth to go start a flame elsewhere. And you see some heading for the logs that are loaded up on the cart, some heading for tents, and beginning to fan out. You've got a bonus action if you want it.
No. I'm gonna head towards the tent.
Cool. Togrim.
I'm presuming that I'm not carrying my crossbow around in the middle of the night to fetch firewood.
Probably not.
But I also don't really think that I'm going to be able to do anything to this sprite. Can I disengage and run back outside?
Mm-hmm. Okay. You notice that the few that you had tried to wake up seem to be stirring from their drunken stupor. They're not magically asleep or anything like that. But you haven't fully woken anyone in there quite yet. But you can head up.
That is my action. Can I use my bonus action to like pat my clothes down?
Takes an
Try and
action
put
to put
myself-
the fire
Takes
out.
an action. Okay.
So you are on fire, and at the end of your turn, you take 1 point of fire damage as the burns begin to
Yeah, that's not bad.
hurt you further. That ends Togrim's turn. Ximori, you are asleep. We're now back to
How am I that high up the order? I got 3.
Tauri was asleep. I mean, everyone's asleep, so it like moves through.
Okay.
At the top of initiative, 3 more sprites jump down. Aderyn and Togrim, you see these ones as they appear out of nowhere, and they're like standing in the middle of the various campfires, like looking for something to set on fire. One rushes towards each of you, another one rushes towards your caravan. And I need to roll initiative for them. They will be going before Lesley. But, Balrick, you are up. You're awake. What do you want to do?
Questions. Has it been a long rest?
You have had plenty of long rests while camping and on the road. And
I used the spell slot yesterday.
you would have had that back. That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, it has been a long rest.
Yeah.
I mean, I can change my prepared spells.
We'll say no. Can't change your prepared ones, but you do have the spell
that
slot back.
That makes sense. Don't get to have absorb elements. You have to cheese it. Alright, I'll wake up then and I'll go, shite. And I'll cast Thaumaturgy,
Okay.
purely to speak loud. So hopefully, with no one actually looking at me, they won't notice it's a spell. And I will shout extremely loudly, "Fire! Wake up!"
The tent flaps on your tent just gust open outwards. All of you who are in the tent are immediately woken up with a jolt to the sound of Balrick's dad voice echoing around. Togrim and Aderyn, you are fairly confident that the various tents around also wake up. Lesley, please roll me a perception check. Flat roll, loud enough, ignores the disadvantage.
Cool. I still have a -1 to my perception, but that is a flat roll. 17.
17. You are woken up by the voice of Balrick. So loud. So loud you think he's next to you, which is
Disturbing.
interesting.
Lesley does like flinch away. Is Brandy awake?
Brandy is also woken up by that, yes.
Lesley does flinch away from. Ugh! Oh god.
And then you suddenly realise there is fire everywhere, including
No!
heads or tails
Heads.
on your tent. Your tent is on fire.
Balrick then
Myself!
just shouts to like people, up, move, grab water, you grab buckets,
Yeah, varying people start that are awake now start
directing people
motion.
from other tents as well.
Yeah.
So,
But before the various awake party members of the loggers can do anything, the second group of sprites begin acting. One is attacking Aderyn with a... That's gonna hit. That's a 22 for 6 points of fire damage. And Aderyn, Ximori's clothes... Oh, no, it's your bedclothes at this point, are on fire. Against Togrim, that is a dirty 20 for another 6 points of fire damage, and you remain on fire. And also, Balrick, you notice one run up to your kind of tent wagon thing and begin trying to set it on fire.
okay. You can move around me. I wouldn't say I should have said I'd move away from the wagon, obviously, but
Yeah, it headed to the wagon at the point you came out, so you like see it around the corner that it's trying to set fire to it. So at this point, you notice that about 7 members of the logging camp have woken up at this point and are like throwing on like some tough clothing that can help against the heat and then grabbing things to start putting out fires, like blankets to pat down fires. and water. They are doing a good job at manhandling the small fires of like the tents and stuff outside, saving the wood. The big problem right now is the big tent is basically fully up in flame at this point, and that seems to be the spawning point of these tiny sprites. That's what you kind of get from all this. Lesley, you are awake in a burning tent.
Lesley is gonna reach for the closest thing that is liquid, that is neither urine nor alcohol. We're hoping there's water.
There
Why
is
is there urine in the tent?
there is a jug of water in this tent.
Alright, Leslie's gonna douse his flouncy silks in the water.
Okay.
Doesn't go for the fire.
No, Leslie's not dressed. Like, and put like a wrapped scarf around his head and also around Brandy's to sort of protect them from smoke as they leave the tent.
Yep.
What was the weather? It was raining before, right?
It was raining a couple of days ago. It's not been raining.
But the ground is like
It's
the ground
soft. It's not
soft,
squelchy.
not squelchy.
Yeah.
And we're in a logging area.
Yeah.
Are there like big piles of kind of damp sawdust, like just around?
Yeah, there'll be loads of that from where they've carved it up into planks and wood and stuff.
Now, is it? Now, if I put damp sawdust onto fire, does it dry and set fire, or does it quench? Lesley tries on a small patch to like lift a lot of sawdust, put it on.
I think it's a reasonable logic. If
it's like a powder, so they go like flour. You know when you
but if
it's a wet powder.
Wet powder.
You put sand on oil
sludge.
fires.
You put sand, but sand doesn't burn.
It's how sodden is the sword?
Okay,
Or a
we're
wood ball.
gonna try and.
You
grab
can
them
certainly
as well.
try.
Flip a coin.
Make me let's call it a survival check.
We could call it anything that isn't wisdom, maybe.
I'll give you survival intelligence.
Okay. It's not much better, but that is not worse.
Tauri, you'll be on.
Crucially, it's not worse.
No, it is actually better. It's not negative, at least. It's not good. It's first one. It's a 5.
5. You grab some sawdust, hoping it's damp enough, and throw it on, and it is not damp enough at all. You're hoping it maybe would like squash the fire.
Yeah,
with the
we're
oxygen.
thinking like quenching oxygen.
But this stuff, your efforts to throw it just don't allow it to sit on the fire, and it just
Chris did a Google.
takes up.
Interesting. Sawdust does smother fires. It just turns it into a lot of smoke.
Huh?
Essentially becomes a smoke
Lot
bomb.
of smoke.
Yeah. So
Unfortunately,
you should be able to get rid of it
yeah,
with
I
enough
think
sawdust.
it logically
It's
works,
quite
but
damp.
the application in this immediate panic mode hasn't quite worked. Your immediate assessment is like, I just need more sawdust than what I gathered in a hand. So you start looking
More
around.
intelligence.
You start looking around for like a bucket or a wheelbarrow or something like that can do it more effectively. Brandy successfully does find a couple of buckets for you, like large buckets, and just like passes one to you, and you both start loading up with sawdust.
And Brandy is still shirtless, right?
Yes,
This is important. Thank
he's also trouserless.
Is Lesley? What state of dress is Lesley in?
you. Sure. You can decide if that's top or bottom.
Singular shawl.
It is now the sprites that were inside the thing. Those of you who are outside suddenly see a small like ball of fire inside the main tent, which begins to take it up even more, and you begin to hear the cracking of wood as the beams in there begin to degrade. Tauri, you're up. Aderyn on deck.
Sorry, I'm just checking. Can I? I'm going to, sounds silly, use prestidigitation
Okay.
to just try and cool basically, I can use it to put off a small campfire. So I'm just going to try and find like where it's starting to try and go up, or where it's just lit up.
You have the one that's currently being set on the tent you're in by one of the sprites.
That one goes out then.
Cool. The sprite's like there, just like turns around to see where that came from, and like catches you.
And then I will stand up.
Yep.
And I'll draw up my dagger that is underneath my pillow. And
Sure.
That's kind of about it.
Got your dagger. Aderyn, you're up. Togrim on deck. You are currently on fire.
Yeah, I'm gonna pat myself and prestidigitation the flames away.
Yep,
Like-
easily done.
And then I'm gonna turn to the sprite and I'm gonna yell mentally at it. Does it have a brain I can yell into? I'm gonna just yell, "Stop it!"
Roll me intimidation or persuasion, depending on the angle you're going for.
Persuasion, I guess. I'm kind of like reason with it. That's. I rolled a 2, so that's a total of 8. Sorry, 8.
It jumps into the air at your face and goes, "No!" These things are small. They are smaller than Togrim in size. They're probably about the size of the Titan ball you made, actually.
Oh.
Can I see any buckets of water nearby?
Roll a quick perception check. 11. You briefly glance around. Smoke's starting to build up at this point, but you can see where there's large, like, barrels of water that are relatively close to the main tent, actually, and were being used as just like water for the evening. Where you see some of the loggers heading towards to start filling up buckets.
Okay, I'm gonna run.
Cool.
Close.
It will take an attack of opportunity against you and miss with a 5. That ends Aderyn's turn. Togrim, you're up.
You said the one who's come up to me and hit me again, hasn't it? Or did I just get hit from like a long range?
You got hit by that one, yeah.
Okay. Wait, is it like right next to me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. I will pull out my spanner and swipe at it.
Go for it.
For a 17 plus 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. It does 4 bludgeoning damage.
4 bludgeoning damage. You're half expecting it to pass through really easily. What is your spanner made of?
Probably steel.
Steel. Okay. Yeah. It's got a little more substance to the hit than you were possibly expecting. Still doesn't seem to be perfect, but like considering it's fire, you almost do clash with something. Cool. Anything else on your turn? Bonus actions?
I don't have any.
Cool. Moving on. Ximori, you are broken out of your trance to fires, shouts, and tiny sprites.
And one of them set my blanket on fire.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Can I throw my blanket, kick my blanket off onto it?
Are you attempting to put out a fire with a blanket trick?
No, I'm more attempting to blind the fire so it doesn't see the axe kick coming trick.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that just happens. That's fine. So I'll give it a death save.
It's part of the attack.
Yeah, that just happens. And it's just you can see it moving and beginning to catch fire.
That is a non-raging currently. So that is a 20.
Hits.
For 8 points of bludgeoning.
Okay. It's still up because it seems that whatever you hit it with doesn't feel quite as... Yeah, attacking fire, even if it is slightly physical.
And for a bonus action, I shall...
Balrick, you're on deck.
Rage? I should probably rage. I will rage.
Does a tail come out?
No, actually, I'm not going to manifest any of my bestial features this time.
Cool.
I'm just going to get really upset. I woke up on fire.
Yes, fair enough.
Character growth.
Balrick, you're up.
Actually, hang on.
Oh,
I did check one thing. I'm just going to make a quick wisdom check to see how survival I am right now. It's not good news.
Okay.
My eyes turn black.
Tauri would be the only one who sees us at this point, who's still in the tent. Tauri, you see Ximori get up, let out a yell, and then their eyes turn black. That ends Ximori's turn. Balrick, you're up.
All right. Great. I have seen one sprite go around the back of the wagon. It's not dead, is it?
Nope, none of them are dead yet.
No one went round. Did anyone go around the back of the wagon?
No, you got the one at the side that Tauri put the fire out on. The other ones have followed Aderyn and Togrim, who are outside the wagon, and then there was the other ones.
I'll go rescue Aderyn and Togrim together.
Aderyn has run towards the water. Togrim is vaguely in that direction.
Yeah, I'll run in that direction, also towards water, actually. That's a good idea.
Yep.
Try and take the attention off Aderyn.
Sure.
And draw swords. I got 2 swords. And I kept them on me.
Go for it.
Slash. In fact, will I do that? No. Running and shooting? No, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Cool.
16 to hit.
Hits.
And the other one. 15 to hit.
Okay. Are you going? Which one are you going for? The one that was attacking Togrim, attacking Aderyn, or attacking the car?
Aderyn.
Gotcha. Carry on.
I'm gonna get water. Ximori's left by the cart in there, so
Yeah.
I'm like, Ximori can deal with that one. That was 2 + 2 + 5, 9 points of damage with both swords.
With both swords. Again, both swords. What are your swords made of again?
They are steel.
Steel. They bite in, but again, they kind of pass through unsatisfyingly as you're slicing fire, and it like cuts through. The fire is momentarily in 3 pieces before it reconnects back together. Roll me a nature check. Or history.
19 plus stuff.
19.
Plus, so 23.
Yeah, you remember some advice if you come across Fae and have to deal with them is iron specifically.
Okay. I'm gonna get in between Aderyn and the fire sprite thing.
Cool.
And just push her back a bit and be like, take cover, get safe, try and get water, put some fires out. And I'll put my swords away because I think my arrow is iron.
Okay. It is now those sprites' turn. So one sprite is going to attack Ximori with a 19 hits you.
That hits.
For 6 points of fire damage, and you are on fire.
I am going to... That is the damage type that I've chosen to resist in my new form
Okay.
in this particular event. So it's 3 points and I'm on fire.
We'll touch on that on a second as this happens. There is a 22 on Balrick for 5 points of fire damage, and you're on fire. And 1 on Togrim. Doesn't hit. As you see it coming, Togrim just like step to the side of it. Ximori, as this fire hits you, you feel something within you bubble out, and your skin suddenly changes, getting a damp sheen across it, as you just feel something change about your physical form. Tauri, you can watch this happen. What does it look like, Ximori?
So, where Ximori's like skin is like, Ximori usually looks fairly dry at the start, like they're usually quite unmoisturized. Like, skin almost goes like a little bit translucent, and you can see it looks like their bones are being pushed to the surface by their muscles. So, like, you can see like the bones in Ximori's arms pushing out against it, so they're coming to the top of the arm. The like jaw is like pushed outwards. It seems like the bones are trying to grow faster than Ximori.
Well, that's horrifying.
And I'd like to use my reaction, Gethin.
Yeah.
To make a melee attack against a creature that attacked me.
Go for it.
Natural 20.
What damage?
That is... Oh, it's only a 1 though, so that's 2 plus... 6 is another 8 points of bludgeoning damage. As it just reaches to, like... As it reaches to set me on fire, I reach back almost mirroring, but just going for where a heart would be on a creature.
Yeah, you essentially pull out like a mote of fire that just then dampens in your heart, and this thing is starting to like sputter and flicker down as it's heavily diminished.
Gradually getting to my feet.
Yeah. That ends. The sprite turns. Lesley, you're up.
Right. What material are like scimitars made of in 5e?
Traditionally steel.
Yeah.
We are past the pure Iron Age at this point.
Yeah, I was like,
steel is common.
Most things will be steel. Iron, arrows will probably be iron.
We're in a logging camp as well, though. So.
Yeah, there's the like rudimentary tools are more likely to be iron.
That's fair. I don't know
Which
that
is why
Lesley would have gone
the
in
spanner
with his swords.
seemingly did decent.
The spanner steel.
Also, Lesley has literally no reason to know this. Was
Lesley
not near. Doesn't know shit about Fae. Just that sometimes they're fun. How far away is Lesley from the gang? From the bastard?
Everything is within 1 round's movement. Camp's not that big.
And how are we doing on the situation with the tent in the middle?
The tent in the middle, some of the loggers have started trying to fight it, and actually they seem to be more focused on getting into the tent and getting people out of it at the minute, as smoke is starting to like build up inside and billow out.
Okay. Yeah, I think Lesley does want to get people out of that tent. As well. As much as whatever's happening in the side, whatever's happening with Ximori is very interesting. Lesley is going to ignore it for now, if you can't see it, and try and help the effort of pulling people out of the tent.
Make me an athletics check.
With pleasure. That is a 16.
16. You rush into the tent, you look around, and there's probably most of the camp actually in here still. And you see like a few people, like firemen's carrying, like lifting a body up and heading towards the door. You see a couple of badly burned individuals where the fire seems to have hit their table and they're not moving.
Ooh. Gonna pull them out first, I think.
Cool. You grab one of them and yank and start heading back towards the door as you pull out someone. Anything else you want to do?
Yeah, I do sort of want to see if there's like hot spots of fire in the room and try and work out what caused this. Lesley doesn't really know what's going on.
Roll an investigation check. Tauri, you'll
13?
be on deck in a second. 13. You look around. At this point, the fire is too chaotic to try and determine a source. It doesn't look like... you can't see any like candelabras falling over or candlesticks or anything like that. It doesn't look like this is... This doesn't look like it's come from inside. It looks like something caught the outside of the tent on fire and it's moved inwards. That's all you've got. It is now the sprites in theirs turn, which see you starting to head out, Lesley, and you see one of them just like curls up into a ball and just like speeds straight across the floor, heading straight towards you. I need you to make
Do notice this.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Saving. Woo! That's a nat 20, baby.
Nat 20. You just see this thing
Lesley's
coming,
limber.
and even laden down, trying to carry someone out, you nimbly dodge out the way as the thing speeds straight past you and like crashes into an already burning bench. And another fire sprite heads over to attack one of the other loggers that's trying to carry someone out, and misses. Moving on, Tauri, you are up.
What are the rest of the camp doing?
Trying to fight fires.
Okay. With my bonus action, can I give the? I assume we would know who the lead. We know who the leader of it is.
Yeah, they've introduced themselves. Yeah, Garrett.
Yeah. I'm going to give them inspiration.
Okay.
Just yelling. You know what to do. Just keep doing it.
I'm trying.
You didn't say fuck. It's not gonna work.
He starts like shouting orders to all the men. People are starting to gather sawdust up, especially, and using what water they have.
Then, can I use prestidigitation to make a cubic foot of sawdust that they're trying to use, like soaking wet?
Interesting question.
Because I'm reading it, it just says following magical effects, like shower of sparks, puff of wind, musical notes, odd odour. Like, it doesn't mention it, I suppose, because I'm not trying to create water, like a pool of water, I'm just trying to make it, like, super damp.
Yeah. It's an interesting one.
Because I know it can't create water.
Tell you what,
Trying to create unpleasant wet.
make me a charisma check. Leave it up to the dice.
The dice say I just had my normal charisma, right?
Yep.
15.
15. Yeah, you can manage that in the moment. To essentially just make it damp, enough to start helping.
Cool. Yeah, that's what I did.
Cool. They'll have advantage on firefighting roll. Aderyn, you're up. Togrim on deck.
I grab one of the buckets of water.
Yeah.
And do I see any sprites like outside the big tent setting? Like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I want to rush at one of them and try and empty the bucket on the sprites specifically.
Okay. Make me a strength attack. So strength modifier plus your, we'll call it efficiency bonus, since water is a fire sprite. Seems to make sense.
Okay, I will. I'll be yelling mentally at the sprite at the same time. Again, yell, stop it. I rolled a 3, so I'm not even gonna.
Do
you have inspiration?
Do you have inspiration?
Yes, I do. I'm gonna re-roll that 3. To a 17. That's a lot better.
Yeah. You like initially like stumble and are gonna like spill the water, but you successfully correct yourself and just whoosh, onto this sprite. Roll me 2d10.
2d10. Okay. That's a 4 and a 1.
This is you coming up to the one that was like nipping at Togrim and successfully and this thing, massive water, unloads on the sprite. There's a hiss of steam and the sprite is gone.
Is Togrim there then, like right in front of me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna yell at Togrim, like, what happened?
I don't really know. The tent was on fire. I was collecting firewood, and I turned around and it was on fire. Kind of had no idea what happened, and
You'll have time
not
for
really sure
introspection
that
in
it
a
was
second.
me.
It's your turn.
Yeah. Have I put I don't think I've put myself out yet, so I'm going to do that.
Okay, that's an action. Put yourself out.
It's an action, and I unfortunately don't have any bonus actions, so I will run towards water source to gather some next turn.
Cool. You gather some water. Ximori, you're up.
I need to make a wisdom saving throw. Good for this turn.
Cool. You still have a sprite in front of you.
Yep. Let's see. I am going to leave the tent by kicking the sprite as hard as I can. 18, 23.
Yeah, that hits.
That is 10 points of bludgeoning.
In a shower of pieces of fire and spark, it dies on your foot.
I would like to then run out of the tent.
Yep.
And I am just looking for the biggest fire currently, or the biggest sprite thing currently alive.
You quickly spin around and you see one that had momentarily a second ago been a ball of fire that zoomed straight out of the main flap of the central tent and out into the open.
Okay. Can I have a quick look around for any tools that are currently out? I know a lot of them were put away, but
roll me a
they were put away.
Roll a perception check.
That is 15.
15. You quickly look around and you can see over by the side is a iron crowbar sitting next to a crate.
That'll do. I can run over and grab that to arm myself.
Yeah, you now have a crowbar.
And that is my action.
We'll call that a bonus action to spot that. So.
Okay. Yeah, that's everything then.
At the top of initiative.
I am on fire if I need to take any damage from that.
Oh yeah, you do. Thank you. 4 points of fire damage, half to 2.
After 2.
At top of a initiative, you see a couple more come dragging people out of the main tent, coughing and spluttering from smoke, as another sprite appears in front of you, Balrick, jumping down from the ongoing fire in the main tent. And it rolls initiative. Is going just before Ximori, but Balrick, it is your turn.
Alright, is there still the one near the wagon?
Yes.
One right, yeah, okay. Anyway. I'm gonna sheathe my swords and kind of roll away from the ones in front of me, accepting attack opportunities. Trying to put myself out by rolling away from them.
You take both miss actually with your AC. And yeah, I'll tell you what, make me an acrobatics check. Doing that as, let's call it a bonus action to try and put yourself out.
Bonus action? No, I want it as an action.
Okay, fine. If you want it as an action, that's fine. In that case, you don't need to roll. You do it as part of your combat roll. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It's part of my action. So yeah, I roll away and it put out the fire.
Yep.
And so I'm away from them and I draw my bow, put my swords away, and I draw my bow, ready for next time. While doing so, I shout, "Dick, sort them out!" And out from the wagon, Derek leaps onto the sprite that's about to...
Which sprite, sorry? The one that literally just jumped down?
No, the one that's about near the wagon, about to burn the wagon. You
Gotcha.
said there's one.
Gotcha, yeah, make an attack.
As in, stop it from burning the wagon.
Gotcha. Make an attack.
He is a blazing red. If that's all right.
Doug's taken on a nice pretty colour.
A nice, pretty ruby colour. He gets a... Oh, where's it go? Plus...
Lesley, you'll be on
Five.
in a second.
19 to hit.
That hits. Roll damage for deck.
7 points of damage.
Dex attacks considered magical?
I don't believe yet, no.
Okay, so this sprite is like in Dex jaws before it like coalesces back outside of it. That ends that turn. It is now that sprite's turn. It is going to counterattack with a crit on deck.
No!
Now, I have just come out the wagon, so can I use an inspiration for Get Down?
Sure. In that case, distance. That's fine. That happens. You body crash Derek out the way, and instead you get hit with a crit, which I rolled near max damage on. So you take 22 halved to 11 fire damage.
Do you want to know why that's the stupidest thing you could have done? Derek's immune to fire damage when he's red.
It's fine.
He didn't know that.
Derek like instinctively snaps at you for hitting him. Doesn't actually attack you.
And I'm going to use a reaction because I've been hit. Oh no, it's a reaction.
To use that.
Yeah.
That's fine. That ends the press. Lesley, you're up.
Nice. Situation around me is I'm still dragging a person out of the tent.
Yes, you're basically your movement this turn would get them out of the tent with no action or bonus action used.
Cool. Movement, we're doing that.
Yeah, you get them out of the tent.
Lesley is kind of concerned that he was attacked by fire. It doesn't happen that often. Did he recognize it as like an entity?
It definitely seems to have a shape and a form to it. It's not behaving like fire.
And I guess upon leaving the tent, Lesley will have seen Ximori getting attacked by fire as well. Alright. I guess upon seeing Ximori wielding a crowbar, Leslie's gonna try. Is there like a bucket of water or something more reasonable to fight fire with?
Yeah, they're being passed around and handed out.
Leslie's gonna
that
try.
actually should have happened before your turn. Just let me roll this.
Oh, crack on.
Bryn, your bardic says D6.
Gonna fight fires the old-fashioned way.
D6, yeah.
With fire.
Cool. They have managed to put out most of the fires on the small tents. The problem is even when they put out the tents around the outside, when large bits of fire jump from the central tent or sprites do, they reignite them. The minute they're essentially containing it to just the main tent. That's how well they're doing. Sorry, carry on with your turn.
Good on them. Water, bucket, right. Let's have at it.
Go. Make an attack roll.
What is bucket of water? I guess.
Strength plus proficiency.
Strength plus. Okay.
Proficiency.
I'm giving proficiency in this instance just because it's a.
I've wielded a bucket before.
Leslie's never wielded a bucket in his life.
Ah.
Bucket filled with oil.
Sorry, that's a nat 20. I've wielded so many buckets before.
Roll me 2d10 and double it.
You know the end of a Titan Ball game where you lift the Gatorade one over your head?
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Gatorade, it's
Alligatorade.
Sure, let's go with that. I was trying to think of a
Wait,
Dragonade.
2d10.
dragon.
Is that a cycle?
Yeah, dragon.
Is that a cycle?
2d10.
It's crocodile help.
26.
26. The ball of fire the one that had done ball of fire and then like ended up near Balrick, just goes out in an instant as this bucket of water goes straight over it.
Lesley is gonna use like a free action to be like to look at Ximori, who's just taken quite a lot of damage, and be like, "What? Why have you got a crossbow? Crowbar? Why have you got a crowbar for this?"
It's worth mentioning at this point that Ximori looks horrifying. They have essentially bony protrusions pushing up against their skin. Their jaw
Think
is
sort of,
pushed
yeah.
through.
Think like
What?
being human werewolf transformation kind of look. It's that.
Yeah. I'm with you, but like, what outfit is Ximori wearing?
Currently just wearing back to my original outfit of just like
It's
a
honestly,
red stain tunic and.
Leslie's a lot more concerned by the tunic than he is by Ximori's their current state.
Fair enough. That leaves that sprite, who is going to do that, who is still inside the big tent. Tauri, you're up. Aderyn on deck. There is 3 sprites left.
Okay, are any of the sprites together?
No, they're all pretty spread out. There was... There's one by Aderyn and Tauri. There's one that was where Balrick was. No, those two would be fairly close together, actually. There's 2 close together.
How close together?
Well, there were 2 on me.
Yeah, but
There were 2 on me.
Cool. Can I get to where Balrick is easily enough with my movement?
Where he is or where he was?
Where the 2 sprites are
Where he was, yes, you can easily.
Cool. I'm going to run there as I yell towards the leader again. Keep doing what you're fucking doing. It's working. And Bardic Inspiration.
I'm open to ideas to deal with the big one.
And then, as I get close to the sprites,
Yep.
I am going to cast Thunderwave at level 2.
Constitution saves aren't above a 10.
Cool. They take 3d8 damage.
Let's go.
There's another
Aderyn, you're on deck.
I've only got 2d8. Weird. They take 7, 12, 18 points of thunder damage.
Which is not halved, and these 2 small things of fire just get blown apart by the Thunderwave, and they momentarily hold their form as they head towards some other flammable sections before dissipating before they can even set fire to them. That ends Tauri's turn. Aderyn, you're up. Right now,
audible explosion.
where you are outside, yeah, there's an audible rumble of thunder. There's a terrifying Ximori figure body tackling deck. There is a giant fire on the main tent, but there are currently none of these animalistic things around at this point.
I see Derek be attacked by Ximori, right?
You see Ximori shove Deck out the way so they get hit by the massive fire hit rather than Deck.
Okay, I can.
And that Thunderwave then got rid of that one.
In that case, I'll just I'll refill my bucket.
Okay.
Water, and I'll just run inside the tent to see if I can find any more sprites in there.
Okay. Yeah, you run inside, and there's one that is currently dancing on top of an unmoving dwarf.
I'm gonna mentally yell at it. Get away! I'm gonna...
Having fun!
Unlike Dorothy, trying to just throw buckets of water to the Witch of the West, just on these sprites.
Go for it, make that attack roll.
Is it strength again? Yeah?
Yes.
More accurately, you're like Dorothy in dungarees.
10 total?
10 plus proficiency, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
12. Just what you needed. Roll 2d10 for me.
A 6 and a 2.
So 8. As this thing, huge gout of steam, you momentarily think you've defeated it, and then the steam dissipates into the smoke, and this thing is still dancing there. And it's it bears not teeth, but fire.
Fire teeth.
And just and goes to leap towards you. That's your turn.
Yep.
Togrim, you're up.
Can I try and grab some water
Yep.
and take it to the main tent, try and put it out?
Cool. Yeah, make me a survival check.
14.
14. That is a success.
Awesome.
And one of those as well. As you find it on, and you just start forming a bucket chain essentially, and start helping out there. That sprite is already dead. Ximori, you're up.
Save. Just about. Right. I got hit really hard in the back by something.
Yeah.
I am on fire.
Yes.
So
that's at the end of
fire
the turn.
damage,
You take the
please.
fire damage.
Okay. I turn around to look at everything else. Did I see Aderyn run into the tent?
Roll a perception check.
19.
Yeah, you would have seen it.
Okay, I'm going to charge after Aderyn.
Cool. You actually run
And
just straight
reaching.
through the side wall of the tent.
Do they leave a
Open.
Ximori shaped? Ah, it's like a Ximori shaped flap.
Like a wily coyote scene.
And at that one that's like on the table, dancing and laughing,
Yep.
I just want to go through where its head is with like the pry end of the crowbar.
Okay, make me attack roll.
18 plus numbers. It's gonna hit. It's an 18 on the dice.
Yeah. Roll damage.
What do you want to give?
They didn't provide
Crowbar.
weapon, it's 1d4.
Okay. That's 12 points of iron crowbar damage.
You just like skewer this thing through, it dissipates on your bar, and now you just find yourself standing inside an inferno.
I'm going to reach into my pocket.
Yep.
And I'm going to take out a little marble. And then I can do nothing because I don't have a bonus action this turn. But I don't have an action left this turn.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. At the top of the round.
And fire damage for me, please.
Fire damage. 4 after 2.
Please, DM, give me some fire.
Another 2 sprites jump down in the main tent because they can't appear anywhere else. Those of you who are in the tent, you are very clear that essentially what happens, like these flames are roaring, and wherever one seems to like suddenly have like a burst of energy as it hits a new fuel source or something like that, a sprite leaps from this fire and lands. You are very conscious that they are being birthed from the fire. Do with that information what you will. That being said, they are going after Tauri. Balrick, you are up.
Seeing both of my 2 insane companions as the children.
We've got 2 insane children, yes.
Laura goes up. There's no sprites around outside.
There are none, no.
I'm going to say, Derek, on me, and we're both going to run into the tent.
You quickly see these. Each one seems to have descended on each of your companions.
Derek, get that one, and I'll send him after Aderyn. I'll shoot the one. Ximori.
Go for it.
And it's also the first time that Balrick gets to see that Ximori looks extremely different.
Balrick's a lot less judgmental than a lot of seems already a bit crazy anyway. 12.
Hits.
That's indeed 8. So the arrow. Oh, an 8 on that. So that is 13 with the iron arrow.
This sprite doesn't even get to do it. This sprite jumps in front and then suddenly... And you see, like, those of you up close see it like the arrow almost pierce like the fire is actually flesh before it dies.
Have a very good look at this.
Derek gets a 10.
Deck misses, I'm afraid.
But he's in between Aderyn and...
Gotcha. It'll go after Aderyn. After Balrick, it is the Loggers, who successfully, with a Bardic Inspiration, Jipex is like, start loading up the sawdust and get to that side while we douse the fires over here and get it cooler. As they start doing this, they are trained in fire safety because Loggers camps tend to go up in fire if you're not careful. And they have made a successful survival check. For your knowledge as players above table, you need 5 successful survival checks to put out the fire in the main one. You have had 3 between Togrim and 2 successful checks from the group, the Loggers as a whole. But ending that, it is Leslie's turn.
Cool. Yeah, Leslie's heading back into the main tent, having seen that seems to be where the attention needs to be now, and is gonna continue with water because it seems very weird to Lesley that anybody in our party would even think about using a sword or maybe a little dragon to fight the fire. So,
Cool. Are you using it against the sprite or against the actual fire?
Is the sprite in a reachable, like, distance? Like if Lesley was in lobber?
But there's also a dragon and an Aderyn next to it.
Yeah, okay, let's go for the sprite that's next to the dragon and the Aderyn.
Cool, make an attack roll with your bucket of water.
Drench
Trust
Aderyn.
your bucket of water. Yeah, worst comes to worst, this is quite an entertaining moment for Lesley, because he's got plausible deniability. Sorry, that is... Strength... plus... Using my birthday inspiration to have a better roll.
It's only a 12.
Oh,
Yeah, AC of
not using my birthday inspiration to have a better roll.
Roll 2d10.
Oh, it would be... No, I don't want another. 2d10. Sorry, oh god, I hate Roll20 so much. I just have space up here for all my dice. But... It's 17.
17. Jeez.
Nice.
This sprite doesn't get to do anything either. It's cascade of water. As these two sprites are successfully defeated before they get to do anything.
But most importantly, how much water does land on Aderyn?
And Dick.
20%.
20% too much.
Fortunately, you are currently inside a tumble dryer, though it won't be wet for long.
And you're wearing my
It's gonna be
waterproof eelskin
humid.
dungarees.
I want to say that her hair has usually got like this urethral, like floaty sort of thing. It's just becoming really like frizzy from the humidity.
Eelskin dungarees can't help you with that.
Just having it to Monica from Barbados episode friends. It's the humidity! That ends Leslie's turn. Tauri, you're up.
Once again, I give inspiration.
Go! It is helping.
That was my thinking. And then I will use prestidigitation to keep making more of the sawdust that they're using.
That will give them advantage. That ends Tauri's turn. Aderyn. Sorry?
I was also going to yell out to the group, either fight the fire or help them make the sawdust wet.
Leslie's quite good at making stuff. Anyway, Aderyn, you're up.
Apart from Tauri, where it's dry.
Is there anyone alive?
In the
Yes.
tent.
Yeah.
There is a number of people not moving in the tent.
Do they look overly dead?
You would think by now someone would have woken up when they're in this amount of fire. Or they've suffered from smoke inhalation and have passed out.
Okay, I'm just gonna go to the nearest one. I'm gonna grab them and I'm gonna start dragging them out.
Start dragging them out. That is perfectly fine. Togrim, you're up.
Gonna keep doing the same thing. Splashing the tent with as much water as I
Make me
can.
a survival check, please.
16 this time.
16, that is a success. You have formed like a decent chain with a couple of them and are just like motoring through, throwing water on. The fire is starting to dim. There is a lot of smoke at this point, but crucially the light and the heat is going down. Ximori.
Oh shit. I failed the wisdom save.
Derek would be closest.
And I'm holding a crowbar. Sorry, Dick. This isn't me being a dick. I promise. This is a class feature.
I don't know if Derek will believe you, but
18.
was hit.
It is luckily D4 as opposed to, well, I rolled 2 1s on my D4s.
Good 2D.
7. I have a feat.
That gives you plus default on everything.
Yep.
Oh,
All my
nice.
strength melee attacks.
Permanent
7.
lad. Wow, okay.
7 points of bludgeoning on deck.
You jump in the way, push him out of the way of an attack that would hurt him anyway, just to hurt him.
You see Ximori just like animalistically like turn looking for prey and just locks on the thing closest to them and just leaps across a burning bench wielding the crowbar and just slams it down onto Derek's back.
Can I use... Ooh, 1 minute. Oh, I'm going to do a cool thing maybe. Can I do... Oh, both are reactions. Damn it. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Lost you there, sorry, say that again.
I thought I could do a really cool thing, but I can't. But I'm going to use an inspiration.
Why does your mic keep cutting out as you say inspiration?
I am going to use an inspiration to jump in the way.
In the way. That's what I thought you were saying, but your mic just every time just like, inspiration, I'm done.
I thought I could do it and Stone's Endurance to potentially just not take damage and just be like, this shit.
Cool.
Does pose rule.
You take the damage instead as you shove Derek for the second time in like 12 seconds. You get shoved out the way by someone as the crowbar like crashes down on your hardy shoulder, and you see this black orbs of eyes and this wrong musculoskeletal just like pushing against Ximori's skin. Ximori is not there right now.
If I make a melee attack against a creature and that creature is still alive, my bonus action, I make an unarmed strike. So that is... It's 18 on the dice, so it's going to be...
Yeah, you hit.
E3.
Oh, I can't use both. I can't use one reaction.
So that is 2 plus 8 points of following up bludgeoning on Balrick.
And then just a talon claw.
I think just as I've brought down the crossbar across Balrick's back, and seeing as he's getting back up again, I just punch in the back of Balrick's head.
At the front, you're not facing the back.
Oh, okay, so you jump that way.
It's like you hit. He's gone in the way, and you've like he's gone. Whoa, stop! And you've gone.
Okay, in that case, where the crowbar hit, like the hook around, like grabs around the collarbone, I'll pull you down onto my knee, into a knee to the face.
Like a what?
Balrick, it is your turn as one sprite appears.
I'll be honest, I don't think I give a shit about sprites right now.
Nah. I'll come back later. You seem to be dealing with the whole thing.
Okay.
What do you want to do, Balrick?
Shout in Ximori's face, what the fuck? And I don't... See, I can't fight Ximori. Ximori...
Lesley, you're on deck.
Lesley witnesses this, right?
Yeah.
Lesley's gonna shout, "Think of Tabitha!" to Ximori.
Just so you know, I've decided to pre-roll the efforts to put out the fire, and I'm going to send you all a photo when Balrick's finished his turn.
2 nat ones. I am going to... I'm not going to attack. Longbow is going away.
Okay.
And I'm going to have Derek help me grapple Ximori.
Okay. That means you each have advantage on the roll.
It's I either have advantage and use athletics, or I don't have advantage but get my bonus for acrobatics.
Your choice.
I could make me too overpowerful.
What would Bast do?
Bast will go with strength. It's gonna be strength.
What we got, people?
18.
I got dirty 20.
You are now being grappled by
It's dead. It is dead. I got an 8 dead. Got the 16.
You like grab onto these shoulders and just their form is shifting underneath the skin and just makes it incredibly hard until Derek just bodies in at the knees, crumpling Ximori down, where you can then just exert your leverage, being much taller than them, to just pressure them down onto the floor and pin them in place.
Grapple doesn't count as an attack, does it?
No.
Okay, good.
You can do it as part of an attack action, but I don't count it as an attack.
It's not an attack.
Yeah. I just want to make sure because it's important.
That is your turn.
Down, and that's bonus action to help myself.
At which point, the various people outside manage to essentially, Jipek just goes, "Fuck this!" Just directs two to move barrels over and just takes axes to them, releases the pressure, and this gout of water just goes straight through the main tent, knocking over discarded tankards, splashing onto you, Ximori, as you're pinned down to the floor, and just kills the fire. It fills the entire room with thick, acrid smoke, but the fire in an instant dies out. The sprite that was there disappears in a wave of water as, on advantage they rolled a nat 1 and a nat 20 and a max on the bardic to completely undo the fire. As the smoke settles and everyone manages to catch their breath, waiting to God, hoping that the sparks are done, we are out of initiative. Ximori, you are currently being grappled.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? Everyone active.
So, with this additional form, am I in control of when to release it if I've failed the wisdom save previously?
You need to make a wisdom save to take back control.
Okay. Failed again. So, I think, Ximori's going to have to attack the nearest non-player character, which is going to be Dirk again.
Oh, so it doesn't do players?
Yeah,
It always goes to
specifically, I
NPCs
prioritize NPC first.
Attack me!
We can say in this instance that you're currently being grappled by Balrick, and therefore would go after the one currently grappling you if you wish.
Okay. In that case, we're going to go with... I still have the crowbar in my hand.
Yep.
So where I'm down on the ground, I'm going to try and basically hook that around Balrick's knee to pull him down to a knee.
Go for it.
17?
It hits, yeah.
It's 6 plus 5, 11 points of bludgeoning.
I'm going to use Stone's Endurance to try and complete. So,
And I don't have control over which bonus action I get to use, so it's got to be that one again, because you're still upright.
that's a 12 plus 3, 15 point neutralize.
Yep.
It just hits skin and nothing moves.
And with the other arm, I basically dislocate it backwards as I fling my arm back to strike Balrick across the face with a backhand.
Go for it. What are the rest of you doing while this is happening?
It's 19.
Fire's out. I'm running inside to try and find out what's
10 points of bludgeoning.
Damn! I'm an unarmed
Balrick gets
attack.
hurt.
This feat is...
I get a D4 for my unarmed strikes now as well.
His feet is broken, what the hell?
It's a Grim Hollow one, and it is nasty when put on a strength build.
Wow.
That's my action and bonus action.
Tauri, you run in and see this far down fight happening right now. It is Balrick just trying to pin Ximori in place while Ximori is lashing out like a wild animal. Something is This is not Ximori. Even when Ximori is raging, this is not Ximori.
Can
Can I
I?
get close enough to Ximori?
I was going to say,
My action.
can I do a turn? I
Yeah.
think. Let me just double check something.
Tauri, you can easily get close enough.
Cool. I want to do something, but I'll let Chris go first.
I just need to double check it's which spell it is that actually does this. Is it this one? Yeah, I'm gonna try. Oh no. Anyway, I'm gonna try airing
What did you say, sorry?
to actually in them ensnaring strike
Okay.
to try and fully restrain. So I am gonna have to try and hit them.
Okay.
I'm assuming that an unarmed attack can count as a.
Yes. That's fine.
So I'm just going to try and elbow them. 20. Oh. Actually, do melee attacks have to be strength? Or
Yes,
are
they do.
Okay, fair enough. 23.
Why are you worried? Yeah.
That'll hit.
No, I just yeah. Roll some
I don't have an incredible shield ability as well.
So it's just 3 points of damage after one.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's fist. But you must make a strength save or restrained.
Okay. Dominant strength is checks, or is it saves as well? It saves as well. Okay. Not great. 14.
14. Probably beats it. I think mine's at 13.
I've got 13 now. Did you?
Have you got 14 down for me?
13.
13, yeah.
So you try to restrain with this strike as bird
I
roots from
elbow
underneath
him and roots come up. Yeah.
begin to grab. They snap free as Tauri comes in. Tauri, what are you gonna do?
I'm going to give him Bardic Inspiration
To
Ximori.
okay,
But now he's restrained.
he's not
And I'm
restrained.
going to.
They're not
He
restrained.
is fine. I'm flicking him in the nose and telling him to get it the fuck together.
I have to use my reaction to make an attack against Balrick, which I feel would have triggered before you've done the Bardic Inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, because I'm only just coming in once that
Yeah.
all happened.
To be clear, Tauri, you are flicking the nose of an ungodly monster.
Yeah.
You are remarkably calm in this situation, considering this is something that no one has ever seen before.
Oh, I'm
17?
not calm. I'm past that.
17 hits.
Again with the 17. Get a 15, that'd be
Well,
fine. No,
hold
17
on.
hit.
I'm going to use my hold on. No, I can't. Never mind.
I think what's based happened there is that where you...
How was Balrick
I've got a
looking?
reaction that would help. Are you not in the tent? Oh wait, never mind.
How was Balrick looking?
Ulrich is got a nosebleed and bust lips. He's been clocked around the jaw a couple of times.
So
It's a shame I can't use my inspiration to do cussing words. That would have been
we
quite
will
fun.
use birthday inspiration to get Balrick out of the way.
Okay.
And wedge. Leslie's gonna wedge himself between Ximori and Balrick. Balrick is gonna have Leslie's bare ass on him. That's the punishment.
Exactly what Balrick wants right now.
Ximori, with all of that going on, make a wisdom save. You have a Bardic. I will
Okay,
also give
but-
you advantage because you have multiple people trying to restrain and calm you down.
It does also mean that where that attack was blocked,
So,
No,
Did
because
you-
this was the reaction that was blocked. This was your reaction to being...
oh, it was just stop. Oh,
no, so Leslie's used Get Down, so Lesley becomes the target of that reaction attack.
Yes.
So Leslie's taking 8 points of bludgeoning.
Yeah.
as that arm that was sort of freewheeling behind me, I think has sort of like caught the elbow as it's come in. And that as it's come down, my wrist has dislocated to like go to elbow you in the jaw and instead hit Lesley across the jaw as Lesley dives into the way. And so that's at advantage with Bardic Inspiration, which is a
D6. Yes.
Thank fuck for Bardic Inspiration. That was a 9 and a 7. That was a 9 and a 17, so that's 9 plus 2, 11. I regain control.
Yeah.
What?
You see the black disappear from their eyes, just fade into the background as the shifting skeletal structure becomes normalized. At this point, Ximori, you realize you have multiple dislocated joints.
Yep.
Lesley is going to cover Ximori with whatever material he has on him, like, or try and get some cloth to cover.
There's some burnt bench rugs. You can make a decent poncho.
Honestly, it's better than what he's currently wearing. What they're currently wearing. Yeah, just something to hide like the situation over here a little bit. Think this is not a good look in front of our new friends, and definitely not in front of Brandy.
You covering? I mean, I'm still grappling him on top of them.
Just yeah.
Rugs over it.
Yeah, hiding the situation. Nothing to see here, lads. Nothing to see here.
Please do.
Those of you still outside, they're going around continually pouring water and sawdust onto the tent to make sure it doesn't reignite. A few have entered the tent to find the unmoving bodies of 3 loggers that have been lost in this fire. There's Jipek comes over to you, Togrim, as seemingly the most rational person around from this group. Do you have any idea what happened?
Not really, no. I was collecting firewood for our little campfire up in the woods by our carts, and I just turned around and the whole tent was on fire.
Make me an insight check. And a deception check.
Ooh. Insight is a natural 20, or
Okay.
90. Insight? Yeah, 21. And deception is 9.
Something breaks. An illusion breaks in your mind. As your brain starts reliving what actually happened, where your fire didn't go out, you picked up a piece of fire from it, walked over to the main tent, and set it on fire yourself. You do not betray this to Jipek. The deception versus your own insight was against yourself.
Okay. Yeah.
You've realised that something compelled you into acting a certain way and covered it up via an enchantment.
Do I know that it was the song that I've been humming this whole time, or is that just...
With a natural 20 insight, your logical brain goes, that's the only 2 pieces of
information I've got.
odd information.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's a feckin' mess is what it is. But we're lucky we managed to save the wood. Unfortunately, we lost a couple of...
Is this what... have you got any experience with the other attacks? Is this what the other fires have been like?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Have you not heard?
We're very far west and they're very far east.
From
we've heard
from the west,
from
the other fires.
There's been multiple people leaving Brickley Fields. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. This feels the same. Just spontaneous fires and fires that are hard to put out. From when we spoke to the villagers the last time we camped out at the crossroads.
Saints, I hope it ain't the spirit fires back again. We gotta sort this out. We gotta treat the dead.
Anything we can do to help, we'll obviously we'll try help.
There's a few wounded burn folks if you've got anything that'll help. What are those of you inside with Ximori do?
I'm too injured to let go of Ximori. I'm in like a little bit of a shock, maybe a little bit concussed. Just pinning Ximori down. Not thinking.
How's Derek?
Derek's growling, and then probably got his teeth in one of Ximori's shoulders actually. Wasn't flailing out. Also holding the dog. Derek managed to get him down.
Lesley will look at Aderyn and then pointedly look at Derek. And then back to Aderyn.
Aderyn's outside.
Lesley will call to Aderyn. Oh wait, have we got our thing up? Maybe not. Maybe you turned it off when Lesley left the party.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna get 3 messages.
Lesley's gonna like call out Aderyn?
I'll walk in. What? Both here need help?
Our sorry. Our I think maybe we could do with a bit of diplomacy over here.
She's gonna look over and like she's seen Ximori like earlier, but she didn't really clock them. She's gonna be like, Is that Ximori?
Ximori's gone back to his usual body now.
No,
So
it's still horrifying.
Between.
Yeah, there's still like things like dislocated and like burst skin in places, but they're themselves.
My eyes are pitch black and there aren't bones trying to push their way out of my body currently.
Yes.
It's an improvement.
What happened?
I think Lesley is gonna like try and whisper this quite quietly. I think maybe they lost control again.
We need to separate them.
Yeah, I think we need to make sure we make the least amount of scene physically possible. I don't think anybody wants to. I don't think we'll make any friends here if people see what's happened.
Is Ximori still like holding on to Balrick, or is he just?
It's the other way around.
Okay, Balrick.
Ximori's on the floor.
Ximori's gone limp at this point.
Arms behind the head.
Like
and all
show.
down.
Yeah, just like try and show that like I'm not fighting back anymore. I'm in control again, ish.
Balrick might very angrily just like, you don't go after Derek, you don't go after. I can deal. I can take it.
I am going to purposefully the arm that Boris got me pinned with. Like, Ximori doesn't say anything, but purposefully pushes to dislocate it himself, and just drop, like, forward to the ground.
I think Balrick will kind of drop it, not kind of in disgust, but also in like a just shock of like, why the fuck would you do that to yourself? Okay, you start to. Derek's growling at you, but so it very guard dog-esque.
The various loggers start clearing up a few. Respectfully pick up the bodies of their fallen co-workers. And you all kind of...
Did Aderyn manage to save anybody?
A few were saved. There were a few who seemed to have passed out from smoke inhalation that Aderyn and Lesley both kind of dragged people out along with others. It could have been worse, but a few were still lost within there. You kind of distance yourselves, realizing you don't necessarily want to get in the way of their process, and you kind of head back to your cart for the evening.
Ximori is just wordlessly trying to relocate their various joints.
Balrick probably goes to the edge of camp to try and treat his wounds because he's very badly beaten up. Cleaning all the blood off his face, cut lips and everything.
What sort of time of day is it now?
It is middle of the night.
It's still night.
Dawn is maybe a few hours away, you presume.
Leslie's gonna go find Brandy again.
Brandy is busy helping the rest of the loggers kind of tidy up and...
It's a bit of a...
I guess Leslie's gonna go help them. Ugh. Leslie's gonna go help the loggers. Actually, I guess maybe there's stuff that can still be like packed away for transportation tomorrow.
You just kind of... A number of the loggers are kind of making themselves busy. No one really wants to not be doing something, so while some are trying to clear the rubble, for lack of a better term, others are just making sure everything's packed, and there's the air of like they're going to head off at dawn and figure it out when they get to Ximori. The rest of you, some of you maybe try to get some sleep in. The rest of you probably have a lot of thoughts going on in your minds. And eventually dawn breaks. Do you want to leave first, or let the loggers leave ahead of you? Is there anything else you would like to do while you're here?
I think we should let them... Lesley, I think we should let them head out first. I think maybe we've got some thinking to do.
We need to figure out how that fire started. It wasn't a normal fire. There were bright things dancing around.
I don't know how comfortable I feel going into a big city like Ximori without knowing what this was. I mean, this weird fire sort of followed us all from since we've met. I think we can't go to a city not without understanding it.
I hadn't thought about it like that, but it makes sense that it's somehow following us.
I'll go and roll me perception with advantage.
13.
That earworm is gone.
I thought it might be. Are we like alone at the moment? Or
Yeah,
the loggers around, or...
they left at dawn.
Okay.
Did anybody have like strong objections to staying out here for a little bit longer? No? Cool.
I think Balrick might even be away from you lot, still nursing his wound. Other side of the wagon.
Ximori is similarly away from everyone else.
Other side.
The others, and we're all on the wagon.
I kind of think I have something to confess about that fire. The last 3 days, I've been humming that tune that's been stuck in my head. And when I was tending the coals on our campfire late at night, I blacked out a bit. And when I woke up, or when I came to, when I was in control again, I was in front of the tent and it was on fire. At first, I thought it was just happenstance. I was collecting wood as our fire had gone out, but when I spoke to Jepik at the end, I realized that it was me that lit the camp on fire. I'd taken it, but I didn't remember doing it. I'd taken a stick from our fire and lit the tent. But that still doesn't explain where the spirits came from.
So the song made you do it?
I think so. That's the only explanation I've got.
Hearing it.
I can't. I'm not. It's not playing in my head anymore.
So it started 3 days ago.
Yeah. I think again since the crossroads.
We definitely can't go to a city or to anywhere with people. Not if we're gonna be starting more fires and hurting people and turning into monsters.
Definitely not. But I don't think I will be setting any more fires myself because I can't. I'm not playing the song in my head anymore. But it seems like the fires are following us.
Are they following us? Or are they following him?
Rain, you mean? Maybe, but he wasn't here tonight, was he?
That
But
we
he
know.
was here last night. What if he's not necessarily the one setting the fire, but he's the one causing the fires to be set in the first place?
You think he made me do it?
Let us be honest, you're not the type of person to set fire to something for
No.
reason.
Definitely
The
not.
only abnormal thing that have happened in the last day or so is that meeting.
Yeah. And since that meeting, I've been hearing that song. Is anyone else hearing songs on repeat since the fire?
Only when Aderyn's in my head and she's singing her dad's old hits.
I'm sure that's been happening the whole time though with you two, hasn't it?
Is it a? Did anybody except for Tauri hear Togrim singing the song in the past 3 days? Yeah. Did any of us recognize it at all?
Not really. Ximori may have picked up on touches, but as an individual song, it was fairly new.
So maybe if we hear this song or hear one of us humming it, maybe that's a good warning sign. I'm kind of new to this.
Yeah,
fiery stuff.
I don't know how we'd stop it if we did hear someone humming it.
What if it's me next time?
Yeah. What if it's any of us? What went on with you, Ximori? Why were you and Balrick fighting?
I woke up and I was on fire. And then I felt the usual anger before, all the claws, all the tail and everything. But then something else just didn't take control. It was me still, I don't know how to explain it.
Togrim didn't see any of the fights at all, or I don't think what you looked like either. So.
So.
They went after Derek, as they will say.
Is Derek okay?
I think so. I'm not the one to ask, but maybe Balrick might need a few. He might need a bit of time.
We've got healing potions, and we can heal up with spells if anyone's really bad. But maybe we just need to rest for a bit.
Maybe we do a bit of a silver one.
What's
Maybe.
the weather like today, Gethin?
Thin wisps of white cloud trailing, moving fairly quick due to strong winds, but it's a fairly bright day.
So, like, any big bodies of water?
There's the river. If there's one thing about Ximori, it's right next to a large body of water.
Yeah.
I think
Lesley wants to move nearer the river in case there's more fire.
I think Ximori is just gonna walk away from the group and just try to find somewhere a little bit some more dark and shadowy. And going to go into a bit of a normal rage, a sort of one-turn rage, as it were, just to grow one of the claws and like hook around the tattoo on their neck, and just going to pull down, as I'd like to use my birthday inspiration to try and remember an event from my past about 10 years ago or so about what the fuck might be happening with me.
What you remember of the events in that dark pit was of a desperate need for survival, and something spoke to you in the dark and offered you survival. And in your desperation, bleeding from wounds you had garnered from others in that pit, you accepted. You think to the events of last night, where you woke up with an immediate desire for survival against something that wasn't a blade, wasn't a foe, but was an elemental, chaotic threat. And the thing that you said yes to previously, you said yes to again, subconsciously, intentionally, you don't know, and it gave you the means for protection. Unfortunately, it comes with a loss of some humanity, it seems.
I think from there, Ximori will just, in that slightly shadowy place, just keep an eye on the group when they look like they're ready to head off. We'll sort of walk alongside for now.
So what is the group's plan at this point?
maybe only a few of us should go into the city, do whatever we need to do, and the rest should maybe stay here, where it's less likely to hurt people. I'm gonna just kind of like point towards Ximori and like whisper a little low at the little gathering, the main ones, and just go, I don't think it's safe for them to be around people right now.
Who would stay behind? We were not thinking of leaving Ximori on their own, are we?
No, not wrong. Just a few of us go into the city, get whatever errands need to be done, and then get out again.
I have a feeling anything we wanted to do in the city will take more than a day.
Ulrich will pipe up, having been like eavesdropping. He sat grumpily like on the edge of the wagon, near the wagon, eavesdropping a bit. So he's listening and following along. And go, we're not splitting us up. Go where we're not splitting up like that. Going to town together. All the stuff that's happening is triggered by dangerous situations that we're in. And I think that in the town we can avoid that. Be together and support will be fine.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of us being in a crowded place, but if it has to happen, I'd rather we're all together. After all, we are Lesley and the bastards.
Don't you call me a bastard. Balrick says with a little chuckle from the wagon.
I think between us we can handle ourselves, and we can look out for people, but I think we should make our trip a short one.
Yeah, I'm not fond of staying in cities, so get our business done, get out of there.
Maybe we can try and find out a bit more about what's happening to us, what's happening to our dear Ximori. There's a library, right?
That's the reason why Tauri and Aderyn are with us.
Yeah. And you guys know how to read. All of us know how to read. That goes without saying. But you guys can read the books in the library.
Well, I think there is a good place for us to stop, as agreed that despite the dangers and events recently, that heading to the city and maybe finding some answers to what's been going on and staying together in case the worst happens. You load up your wagon, pack up your tents, pick up a sullen Ximori on your way as you rejoin the road. And we will zoom out as you continue eastward on the Merchant Way towards your destination of Xir, and we'll close this chapter. We'll continue telling our story next time. Until then, see you later.